Hi friends, welcome back to the channel. It's been a very long time, I know. I've been away and busy with a lot of things, family stuff, personal things, work, and it hasn't been easy, but I'm finally back. It's just been a really long period in which I didn't have time to work a lot on the videos. I just worked painting a little bit and stuff like that when I had the time, but I'm finally back and I'm so happy to be here now. So, we have a lot of things to talk about. We've had the Adepticon a couple of weeks ago, and it revealed a lot of new things, a lot of new models, a lot of new rules and such. I mean, we have a lot of new things in 11th edition. Starting from a lot of interesting rules, they've just given us a little bit, some little bits of rules here and there. It's not the entire codex, of course, but we're gonna see a lot of that soon. There are actually quite a few things I'm happy about, like one of them is the disembark action. I'm quite curious to try out some of these new rules. They seem fun, a lot of fun. I mean, I'm not a big tournament guy, I'm just the one, occasional game with friends where you have fun and such. Another good thing I think they've done, not for me, but for a lot of player out there that might have been a little bit too much of a try-hard, they've finally taken away the stratagem stacking. It's gonna be, I think, much better to have, your units use their abilities inside of the game instead of just using stratagems over stratagems over stratagems. So that's another thing I enjoyed hearing from the Adepticon. Another interesting thing, and one that I'm quite happy about because I really want to make a video about it, it's the new objectives. We won't have the big circles that we often use to put on the tabletop and have like this big colorful battlefield. It's not gonna be like that anymore. They're just gonna be part of the terrain, so structures. And as I was saying, I really have this need of making this very cool video I have in mind about making objectives with 40mm bases, and I'm really looking forward to it. So this was kind of good news when I was watching the Adepticon. Another thing they've talked about is the detachments. The new detachments are gonna be a lot. They've announced like 70 of them. They've said there's gonna be 70, even more probably. And all of them are gonna kind of twist and shake the games. So yeah, detachments, new detachments. So yeah, this year's Adepticon has brought a lot of things about rules, but not only. We also have seen a lot of new models, especially for the Astra Militarum, with a lot of new vehicles and commissars. But yeah, I think the part that interests me more, and all Ork players, is the return of Commissar Yarrick, of course. Such an amazing model. The backpack, the claw, his angry face, his eye. Yeah, I think I can finally add him to my collection. Being an Ork player, having a miniature of Yarrick is just, I mean, why not? Maybe I could use it as a war boss, but sounds like heresy to me. FBI, open up! I think I will be buying him, and I'm actually bringing him on the channel. I'm gonna do all the paint and things. It's gonna be fun. We've also seen the return of the Red Terror in Warhammer 40k, which is actually a very, very nice model. I gotta say myself, it looks really big. It could be an interesting thing. I could think about adding it to my small Tyranid army, but it's a little bit of my pile of shame at the moment, so I gotta think about it. Finally, we are gonna talk about the new orcs. For 11th edition, we have a new army box, which are going to be 2 armies, one of which is the Blood Angels, or generic Space Marines, whatever you want to paint them, and orcs from Armageddon. Once I've heard this, the only thing I could think of was, yes, I need that to bring on my army. So I'm very happy that we have orcs, new orcs that have been announced. What we've seen so far for orcs in 11th edition isn't much, but those few models that they have shown at the Adepticon, I gotta say I'm pretty happy with what I've seen. First off, we have new boys models. As you can see, they have like this new design that I really like, And the best thing about them, I think it's going to be the fact that now we can put choppers, shooters, sluggers all together in one model. And I'm pretty interested to see how they've put down the rules for these guys. The second model we've seen at the Adepticon is the new Ork Nob. And at first I wasn't quite sure I liked him with this hunchback look and etc. I was hoping for something more like similar to the Ork Boys from Age of Sigmar. But looking at him now, I have to say I really like it. I love everything about him. This look, this kind of bulky look he has, it makes him look really big and angry, and that's kind of what I want from orcs in 40k. So in the end, I'm happy with it. And of course, we cannot forget the new squig model he has on his shoulder. That is, you know, cherry on top. The other model they have announced even before the Adepticon was the new Warboss. And by Gork and Mork, let me say, this guy looks amazing. We know he has two types of heads, two types of weapons. You can either decide or not to put the squid. So I'm quite happy to see like they've given options to orcs finally, because last time we've seen this on orcs was probably on the very old boys, that they had a lot of weapons and you could basically customize your army in so many different ways. Before moving on into the project, I want to talk about one last model that I think was a big reveal during the Adepticon, and that is WAAAGH Gutzmek. It looks so dynamic. It has so many parts that make it look actually like this guy is basically flying away with his bike, and you have like crumbling rocks on the base, all the dust coming out from the thruster, and there's so many things about this model that I love. All the moving parts, like it actually looks like it's jumping towards a titan to slay it. At first, I wasn't even sure I wanted to buy this guy. It's not actually in the theme of the army I have in mind, but some nights ago I had like this kind of eureka moment where I was like, wait a minute, what if I take his base and instead of the rock I put on like the head of an Imperial Titan and kit bash this guy basically flying over the Titan's head? And yes. That's what I told myself, I need to do this. So this is basically all the new things that have been announced. There's still a lot we're gonna see. The Armageddon box is gonna be out in June. Now, after this very long introduction, because it was kind of an introduction to bring you with me into the project I have for 2026. As you might have seen from the trailer, I am finally bringing back my main and favorite army, the orcs. It has been my first and basically favorite army since I started, but I've never had the chance to actually bring it to the channel, so I'm quite happy to take the chance of this year and the Armageddon box and everything new coming out and make it into an actual thing that I'm going to try and bring on for the entire year. My army is basically Beast Naga themed. Oh, let me see if I can put this in focus. Oh, okay. These guys are very cool. I really like them. They have this like beast hunting look and all the skulls. They actually have been my favorite model as in aesthetic. Since I've found them. I've started building my army based on these. I found out they're not actually the best unit to have in your orc army. I don't have many of them, that's why I'm taking my time to actually reconsider some things and waiting for the 11th edition to drop the new Armageddon box so that I can finally decide what direction my army should take. I actually had the time to take this Age of Sigmar Weird Boy and kit bash it, again, it's gonna take some time, and kit bashed it as a Weird Boy for 40k. I've added some engines, some wires here and there, but everything was to basically kind of get to this Beast Snugga look. But I'm realizing just now that if a new box comes out, I need to try and see if I can put it together even on normal boys. So I took the chance actually and tried to do it onto a kit bashed WAAAGH banner boy. It's a boy, yeah, it should be a knob, I know, but I couldn't find the original model anywhere, so all I did was take a boy and kit bash it how I could, and it does have some parts taken from the Beast Snuggas, such as the weapon and shoulder pad, and the banner is from Age of Sigmar, so I still wanted that kind of tribal look, but I think it still works pretty well as a normal orc. I mean, I like the white scheme, and I'm gonna try and bring it on my entire army actually. I will post a video soon about making some boys with this scheme and normal boys, so you'll see and you'll judge with me if it actually works or not. Another thing I had to consider to add to orcs was some vehicles, because I'm pretty ashamed to say this, but I didn't have many, basically none, except for one that I think I've used maybe in one game, which is this battle wagon. As you can see, I've already primed it in white, gray sear, sorry, to kind of get the looks again of this Beast Snugga color, ivory white, that I'm using on everything. I've just noticed that I need to fix a thing here that I was trying to kit bash. I already have quite a lot of things to work on. One of these is going to be the battle wagon that I actually am quite happy to bring on the channel, because I've always done very small miniatures. I've never worked on many tanks or other types of vehicles, etc. So working on something a little bigger than usual is going to be very interesting for me too. As you can see, I already have quite a few things ready. My main goal is to get to at least 2,000 points, but my dream would be to have the army taken up to 3,000 points. At the moment, I only own 1,400 sort of points, so I won't just be painting, kit bashing, and you know, showing some models and units here and there. I actually want to do a kind of vlog where I'll try and show you in detail all the updates for the army, and at some point I'm actually gonna show you all the orcs together at 1,000 points, at 2,000 points, and hopefully at 3,000 points. Actually, my greatest goal is to have the entire army on some like terrain with sceneries and smoke and cinematic lighting, and make an actual reveal with the entire 3,000 points army, with all the models fighting and running and shouting. And so the project won't be just painting and kit bashing. There's gonna be a lot of updates about the lists, the points, what other characters I'm thinking of adding or removing, or yeah, or like different ways to build the army. I am going to try and bring as much as I can to the channel about these orcs, and hoping that it actually helps me motivate to finish an army and actually bring it on up to 3,000 points. That would be a dream come true for me, to have all my big army of orcs everywhere. And who knows, I might also bring you into a game with some friends. That would be actually a kind of cool content, to see at least 1,000 or 2,000 points of orcs used into a game. So I know it might seem a little confusing at the moment, because it seems like I don't have a clear idea of what kind of army I want, and the truth is I don't. No, jokes aside, I kind of do have planned out how I want to build the army. I will try to follow the Armageddon kit and see what it has and try and put it inside my army. Although I gotta be honest, if any of you has any suggestions, ideas, or wants to help me out in understanding a little better, I'd be happy to hear from you. You can contact me either here on YouTube or on my social media. I'm always there to answer and to hear from you. Then, as a side note, I want to say I won't be transforming this channel into an orc only channel. I also have some plans that I'm still thinking about for other Xenos, but also something about chaos, because I've noticed I've never actually brought chaos in any way on this channel. We are still a small community, but I gotta be honest, I'm really liking how it's going right now. Even though I don't have thousands of followers yet, I'm still happy. I like how everything is going. So yeah, as always, if you'd like to support the channel, you can always like and subscribe. Put down in the comments what army are you working on in 2026, because I'm pretty curious to hear from you too, guys. Again, it's always a pleasure to be here with all of you guys, and I hope to see you next time. Bye friends. Thanks again.